Hi everyone, welcome back to another round of crochet goodness. Today's project uses an Alpine stitch, and this one is going to be very easy and very simple, and it also works up really quick as well. For this, we will use a DK weight yarn, a 3.5mm crochet hook, a yarn needle, and a pair of scissors. Starting with the panel or the cups, we're going to work up a chain in multiples of 2, and this chain is going to go from the side of the breast towards the other side of the breast. For the size that I am making, I am cup 32B. I will work up a chain of 30. Once you have your chains, you're going to add an extra chain to that is for our turning chains. And from here, we will work up a single crochet into each of the stitch or chain, starting from the second chain from the hook. So insert the hook into the second chain, grab the yarn and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through the 2 loops on your hook. And you're going to repeat that same stitch into each of the chains across. When you get to the end of the row, you're going to turn your work, and into that same stitch, the very first stitch, we're going to work up the flare of the panel. So insert your hook into that stitch and work up a single crochet, and then again work up another 2 double crochet into that very same stitch. And to work a double crochet, you're going to yarn over and insert the hook into the stitch, grab the yarn and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops on your hook, and you have a double crochet. And you're going to repeat that same stitch again into that very same stitch that you just did. So we have 3 stitches into the very first stitch. After that, we will work another single crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, and into the next stitch we will work up 2 double crochet. Now this will be the pattern that you will repeat for the rest of the stitches. So single crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, and work that up into each of these stitches across until you get to the very end of this row. When you get to the end, your work is going to curl up a little bit like so, but don't worry so much about that because that will disappear later when we start working the actual Alpine stitches. Now onto my very last stitch, which is a single crochet. We're going to chain 1 to close this part, fasten off and cut the yarn. Now moving on to the actual panel itself, we're going to join the yarn into the first stitch at the right side of our work. And once you have that, we're going to chain 3. Chain 3 here is going to count as 1 double crochet. Now into each of the stitches, we're going to work up 1 double crochet each. Do that until you get to the end of the row. Here I have my row of double crochet, and this is also where the straps of the top will go later. After this, we will turn our work and chain 1. Chain 1 here does not count as a stitch, and after that we will work up a single crochet into each of the stitches across. When you get to the end of the row, we're going to chain 3 and turn your work, and again work double crochet into each of these stitches across. End of the row. After this, we're going to work up another row of single crochet one last time. So chain 1 and single crochet into each of these stitches. When you get to the end of the row, as you can see here, we have a row of double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, and single crochet. Now we're going to work the actual alpine stitches for the next row. So chain 3 and turn your work. Now chain 3 here is going to count as 1 stitch. And we're going to work the next stitch into the second stitch of the second previous row, if that makes sense. Now into that stitch, into this stitch, we're going to work up a front post double crochet, and we're basically going to work into the post of the stitch. So to do that, you're going to yarn over and insert the hook into the post or around the post, like so. Now grab the yarn and pull up a loop, and you're going to make the loop just a little bit higher than your last single crochet row. And once you have that, you're going to yarn over and pull through 2 and yarn over and pull through 2. And that is our front post double crochet. Now into the next stitch or the third stitch from the second previous row, we're going to work a normal double crochet. Now this will be the pattern that you will repeat for the rest of the stitches. Just don't forget to work the stitches into the second previous row, just like what you did in the first and second stitches. So into the fourth stitch, we will do a front post double crochet. And the next stitch, a double crochet. So keep on working this pattern until you get to the end of the row. This is how row number 5 looks like at the moment. Now row number 6, we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. And from here, we will do a row of single crochet in each stitch. Once you're done with that, we're going to chain 3 and turn our work. Now for this row, instead of working a front post double crochet into the next stitch, we will do the opposite stitch instead. So earlier we did a front post single crochet, then double crochet, but then this time we will start with a double crochet and then front post double crochet. So double crochet into the next stitch, and we will work that into the single crochet stitch. And then on the next stitch, we will do the front post double crochet into the post from the second previous row, like so. Yeah, so again on the next stitch, a double crochet into the single crochet stitch, and then front post double crochet into the post of the second previous row. So this will be the pattern that you will repeat for the rest of the stitches. I'm now at the end of row number 7, and this is how it currently looks like. Now chain 1 and turn your work, and we have row number 8. Row number 8, we will do a row of single crochet in each stitch. Don't forget to work the turning chain 1 as well for this row. Now once you get to the end of the row, this is how the pattern currently looks like. Now what you're going to do is you're going to repeat what you did for the row number 5, where we started with a front post double crochet, all the way to row number 8, where we ended with a single crochet. So you're going to repeat that until your panel is long enough for the upper part to cover your breast. So do that and meet me back later once you're finished with this piece. Now here is my panel, and this piece currently measures 5.25 from the flare all the way to the last single crochet row. Now after this, we will work the upper part or the last part, which is the upper flare. And to do that, we're going to start with a chain 3 and then work a double crochet into each of the stitches, chain 1 and work another row of single crochet. As you can see here, I already did a row of double crochet and a row of single crochet. After this, we will work a single crochet into the first stitch. Just like what we did with the pattern for the bottom flare. So single crochet and back into that same stitch, we will do again 2 double crochet. Now same pattern as what we did earlier, single crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, 2 double crochet into the next stitch. Repeat that all the way until the end of the row. Fasten off and cut the yarn. Once you're done with that, we're going to work again the same pattern as what we did from the very beginning to work the second piece. And once you have the second piece, the last thing you want to do is weave in your ends and work the straps for the underbust and the neck. And to do that, you're going to start working a chain that is long enough to go around your underbust and have a little bit of excess for the ties as well. And you're going to work 2 straps for the underbust and the neck. Slip stitch into the second chain from the hook. And we're doing this so that the chain or the strap is a little bit sturdy and not just the regular chains. Do that all the way until the end of your chain. Now attach these straps through the provision in the bottom as well as the upper part. As you can see, we place it into the double crochet row. And you will do the same thing for the upper part as well. So friends, that marks the end of this tutorial. If you fancy making this top, don't forget to tag me on social media at whataboutYarn. And if you prefer the written version of this design, you can find it on my pattern store in the link in the description. Or join this week's giveaway by answering the question below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a good day. I'll see you on the next video.